We need to think about the intentions. Why am I studying? What am I studying? What do I want to get from this study? How, by the studying, I'm coming closer to the Creator. And that has to be my main concern. And whatever he tells me about here, about all kinds of actions from the Creator, how the light of Ein Sof, the world of Ein Sof, the beam of light that appears, how it works, the world to receive that was formulated in the light of Ein Sof. These are things that I might discover later, but first I have to have the right relation to what I'm listening to and what I'm reading, that all of this is in order to connect me to the Creator.
Yes, friends, so in a minute we will get into Av's lesson. As Gilad mentioned, we will see again how Av explains the four phases of direct light again. And when Av teaches the four phases, you can see it, you can feel it. He lives it every time anew. Actually lives it. So let's join him. Let's also live these things. This is our root. It's where we come from and what operates in us and how the Creator develops us. It's all in there. So as we go into the lesson, each one should be ready to grasp everything he can. We want to write down insights, questions, points that come up, Av's words. We want to be with him and write the words. At the end of watching the lesson, we will share insights and questions together in the 10. So let's get into the lesson and flow with Rav. Rav. So we're ready to begin our second lesson in the Preface to the Wisdom of Kabbalah. I'm going briefly over what we went through in the previous lesson in order to continue this lesson. The topic today is Masach, the screen. But before the screen, let's see what we went through. We said in the previous lesson that all in all of creation, we have two participants. This is the Creator. The Creator is actually the light that spreads. And this expansion is called Keter, or the tip of the Yud. Or the root face. From this, later came out the vessel. The vessel. Chokhmah, we called it. We mark it as Yud. That's already the beginning of the created being. It's phase 1. That vessel is the will to receive, which the light itself created and filled it, and then we call the vessel a deficiency, and the light that fills it, we call it pleasure. Next. Because the light fills the vessel and gives it pleasure, it controls the vessel. The vessel depends on it. And then the light gives the vessel not only the pleasure, but also its quality of being a giver, of bestowal. So from a vessel which is the will to receive, the vessel suddenly begins to feel that it wants to give, to bestow. it received the nature of the light that fills it. And that vessel is called Bina, a desire to bestow. We mark it with the letter Hey. It's also a vessel, also a deficiency, but a desire to bestow. It's actually empty. Why is it empty? It's got nothing to receive. It doesn't want to receive light of Chokhmah. It simply wants to bestow. It's called phase 2. So we see from here that the light that expanded from the Creator once at first created a vessel which is will to receive Chokhmah, and then built a vessel which is the will to bestow, Bina. And these two vessels, these two kinds of vessels, are completely opposite from each other. One wants to receive and one wants to give. What happened then? Bina understands that she's got nothing to give. Why does she have nothing to give? Because she's not the source of the origin of the light. What can she give to the Creator? Because the Creator wants to give to the Created Being pleasure. What pleasure can the Created Being give to the Creator? For the Created Being to enjoy Him, because that was a reason for creating the Created Being. So what does Bina say? I will use the desire that the Creator created in me because I want to give to Him. In other words, she remains with her vessel of wanting to give, with that light that she wants, which is called light of Chasadim, mercy. And what does she do? She says, but actually, I can give him only if I receive. So I will receive. And then she receives. So now the vessel consists of two parts. One part in it is similar to Chokhmah, and another part is similar to Bina. Let's draw it on the other side. Similar to Bina. Actually, here, the created being does exactly what the Creator wants. The Creator gave it the will to receive. It receives. And he receives too. He gave it the will to bestow. And he bestows too. So, it is completely similar to the Creator in this whole action. So what's missing? It could stay like that. This is called phase 3. It's the third vessel. A deficiency to receive, deficiency to bestow. A vessel in this way is called Zaranpin, which contains both. Vav is its mark, symbol, and only one thing is missing. That the desires in it, both a desire that is similar to Bina and a desire that is similar to Chokhmah, These two desires that this vessel contains come from above, from the Creator. The created being actually uses all the qualities that the Creator created in it, and there's nothing new in it. In other words, so far, it carried out all the qualities that the Creator imprinted in it. And so here we have an example of what the Creator wants to get out of the created being. Therefore, afterwards, in Kabbalah books, Zaranpin in the world of Atzilut is called the Creator. The Holy One, blessed be He, the Creator, because it's an example that the Creator places before the created being of how the created being should be. What happens then? Afterwards, the created being, that what happens, understands that what happens here is that actually it's still not in these vessels in itself. Did it receive? No. Did it give? No. Now it has a dilemma. What is it? What is it really, the created being? So now the created being decides what it is. But by what does it decide what it really wants to be like? After it has all the forces of the Creator that He gave to the created being from above downward. Now it's the first time that the created being, in all these forces and in all these qualities, is a situation where something that is completely new might emerge here. What's new? A new desire. What desire? To receive. A will to receive, but it wants to receive by itself and enjoy. Similar to this desire. From what does this desire that's called Malchut come out from? It's marked by the letter Hey, phase 4. A deficiency. To receive. Why does a will to receive come out here, or to bestow, or maybe half and half? Because this vessel of Zaranpin is very similar to Keter. It's got everything. So now the created being must choose what it wants. So it chooses, just like from the Creator, when we get when the will to receive emerges. So here too, in the created being, the will to receive emerges. And this Malchut alone is called created being. Before it, it's only degrees of development. Turns out that now the will to receive that is felt here is a desire that purportedly didn't come from the Creator directly, but rather here at the end of Zaranpin, the new desire was created. Malchut, that was filled with the light that she receives from the Creator. Its state of being completely full is called Malchut of Ein Sof. And when she is filled with the light of Ein Sof, she is similar to phase 1, which was also filled with the light that came from the Creator. Ask about these things, and then we'll move to a new topic.
This last stage, you're saying that there's an innovation, that it chose. So I don't understand.
What's new about phase 4 compared to the other phases is that phase 4 has in it a desire that didn't come from the Creator. It's a desire that came from an awakening from below, from the created being. The will to receive that is more than the created being, than the Creator created in the vessel of phase 1. Because there is expansion of several processes here. Look, I want only to receive. How? Like the Creator wants. I receive from the Creator a desire to bestow. I understand that the desire to bestow and the pleasure from bestowal can be better than receiving. But how do I do it? I have no light, no pleasure that I can give to the Creator. Unless, on condition, I receive from Him. We need to understand that each time we move from face to face, let's say phase 1, it's the will to receive that the Creator created. Then, when the light is in it, and the light begins to give to the desire to receive its quality of bestowal, so instead of the will to receive, there begins to evolve the desire to bestow. So the will to receive begins to understand that it's better for it to be a giver, and by this it can enjoy more. We need to understand what is phase 2, Bina. It's the same Chokhmah, except it changed and took on itself another addition. So in phase 2, there's more will to receive than in phase 1. Phase 1 understood that if it gave, it would receive more pleasure. Phase 3 already has 2 kinds of vessels, to give and to receive. It understands that if it gives to the Creator by receiving from Him, it will enjoy much more than phase 2 and phase 1. Here we are in phases of development of the desire, but it's still development of the desire that's not independent. It comes entirely from the qualities of the Creator. There's a light that creates the vessel, gives its vessel its quality of bestowal, and the vessel decides it wants to be in 2 parts. One part similar to the Creator in giving, another part that's similar to the vessel that the Creator created to receive. So thus far we have all the things that were done by the light that came from the Creator thus far until the end of phase 3. But at the end of phase 3, it decides, so what do I really want out of all these phases? What can give me pleasure? What is closer to my nature? When I am filled with the light, and then it chooses to receive the light like phase 1. So here at the end of phase 3, it says, I want to receive without any will to bestow. In this part, it's called will to receive. The little bit that I received, now I want to receive it, all of it, with all my might. And then from that comes phase 4. So phase 4 is that part of phase 3 that's receiving, and another part of phase 3 that had the will to bestow. She said she gives it up and she says, I don't want to bestow. We can talk about it for years. We will get back to it every time. Because besides these 4 phases, where the light plays with the vessel, how it creates the created being and gives it its qualities, there's nothing else. The rest is only the developments of the created being. And every time we talk about some world or Pratzuf fame or all kinds of things, created beings, emanated beings, never mind. We'll always be able to get back to here and see where it's the root from them.
But there's a contradiction here, because everything's from the Creator.
Guys, I don't want to get into philosophies. That's it. You have many books. This is a crash course. Only if something is not clear here right now. You can ask, and I'll send you to 20 books, okay?
A deficiency to bestow.
The deficiency to bestow. It's a deficiency desire to give. Like a mother toward a child. She wants to give to it. It gives her pleasure.
He's asking in Russian for an explanation.
No, a deficiency and a desire is the same thing. For now. I'm not getting into the subtleties of the vessel itself, how it's made of all kinds of parts and the layers it has. We'll leave it all to later. What should be clear to us is that when we learn Kabbalah, there are two things. Before we're studying a material we don't feel and we cannot touch it or do anything with it, there are two approaches to the study. One approach to the study is that that's the way it is, as it is written, and you simply have to remember. The other approach is, which should be next to it, why it's like that. So that's the way it is. That should be clear, and we should remember it. Why it's like that, we need to think about it every time and scrutinize it. And this is an understanding that is infinite in depth. God willing, you'll ascend in degrees and you'll come to feel the upper worlds, and everyone can do it. And you will see how much each time you will become more, you will improve and you will ascend in understanding and revelations. And each time you'll have the question, why? Until the end of correction, until you really reach the place where you and the Creator are on the same level from where the light itself emanates.
And the end of correction is when?
Later. Until then, there are no questions. And then there are no questions. And until then, there are questions all the time.